Hey guys, my name is Lily and today I want to do a video about the 5 items that most preppers forget to buy. But before we come to that, I first want to show you my prepper's pantry. As you guys know, I'm a little bit of a baby prepper, I would say. So I'm not a full-on prepper who has a bunker and 2 years of food supply. I just want to make sure that I have about 1.5 months worth of food and also water, and be prepared for a blackout. So that's my goal here in Europe. Now here in Europe we do not really have hurricanes, so somehow hurricanes very seldomly appear in Europe. Also we have very little occurrence of tornadoes. Recently we had one in Czechia, which is not too far away from my place. So that one tornado was really bad, but usually we do not get too many tornadoes in Europe. Now what we do get in Europe is a lot of flooding, and we always had flooding, but in the recent years it has gotten worse. One reason is that we have more rain now, which comes down in very large amounts in a very short period of time. So flooding is a big issue, and I'm sure that you saw the pictures from the news, what happened in Germany, in Austria, and also in other countries. That's a big problem, and that's also what you have to prepare for. So when there's flooding, there will be a high chance that all of the drinking water, all of the tap water will be contaminated. And the first thing that I got after I saw the pictures from Germany was this here. So this is a Berkey water filter, and I just got this to make sure that I can filter contaminated water. Yeah, so this is the smallest version. It's freaking expensive in Europe, by the way. I think I've paid over 300 euros for this. Okay, so that's what I got for my drinking water supply, to make sure that I have fresh drinking water. Now I want to show you something else. Okay, the next thing that gets contaminated when there's a huge flooding is the sewage system. So actually it's the other way around. The sewage system is very likely to contaminate the water that is running by your house, or even the sewage can go into the groundwater or into the regular drinking water. So there's many ways how the sewage can contaminate pretty much everything. So you need to think about going to the toilet. And if there's a massive flooding, it can be that all of the sewage pipes are clogged up, and then you cannot go to the toilet anymore because everything gets stuck inside of the pipe. In that case, it would be great if you have a toilet for your home. Here I got a very cheap container, which I've gotten from Amazon. I don't think it was more than 20 euros. So it was really cheap. It's basically a bucket, which comes with this lid. And yeah, you just do your business in here. You can also use a bag for the inside. This here is a biodegradable bag. So you use the bag first, and then you can use some sawdust, which I got here. This was actually really cheap. If you don't have the chance to buy it off of Amazon, you can also go to a pet store. They do have this and sell this for your pets. And it's really soaking up all of the liquid and the smells. So first you add a little bit of sawdust, then you do your business, then you add sawdust again, and then this shouldn't stink too much anymore. So that's my plan for the toilet. There are other toilets that you can get as well. You can get a chemistry toilet, but actually I don't like using chemicals for my toilet. So the question is, how do you get rid of this stuff? And I think that most people will just pour it into the flooding, because what else should they do? So I'm not a fan of chemicals. It will make the pollution worse. So I'm a fan of the old way, natural sawdust thing. Now there's a second reason why I've bought this sawdust. Right now I'm in the process of growing mushrooms, and you can grow mushrooms on sawdust. And if you want to see that, you can check out my other channel. I will link a video in the description below. Okay, so that's my plan for the drinking water. I have this water filter, and this is the plan for when I have to go to the toilet. Okay, so next I want to show you my Prepper's Pantry a little bit. So my aim or my goal is that I want to have food for 3 months. And I thought that I had it, but I don't, okay? So I have completely underestimated how much 2 people eat in a household. Okay, so now I want to show you the foods that we have so far. So first we have a little bit of dog food, but this is only good for like 2 weeks or so. So we definitely need to get more dog food for Amy. Up here there are some beverages, but I don't think that really counts for food. So yeah, then down here I got a couple of boxes of rice, 10 kilograms each. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So I have 30 kilograms of rice. Then we have a lot of pickles, which is great to have, vitamins and such. We have a little bit of oil here. Okay, then down here we have some potatoes in a can. And also here at the back we have some beans. It's only 5 kilograms, I believe, so it's not too much. And I also have a pack of almonds down there. And my plan is that if the meat runs out, then we are going to eat rice and beans together, because if you eat grains and legumes together, you will get a complete protein. And with this combination, you can make a living even without meat or eggs. And I'm not a vegan, so I eat and love meat and I eat eggs. But there might come a time when there's no meat available or no eggs, and then you have to do the vegan diet if you like it or not. So that's our resource for protein. And besides that, we have a lot of pickles. Then I also bought a couple of cans with goulash soup, chili con carne, and so on. Yeah, then here we have more pickles, sprouts and beans. Then here at the back we have honey, we have children's food, which is a perfect MIE. Then I have bought more salt for us. Yeah, I have enough of salt for the next year, so that's great. Then here at the back we have our own tomato sauce, which we have pickled from the tomatoes that are growing in our garden. And unfortunately this year the growing season was very short, because the spring was the coldest in I don't know how many years, and then the summer was the driest in I don't know how many years. So we really had a year of extremes behind us, and yeah, it's crazy. So we only got like half of the tomatoes that we should have. And this is about the same amount of tomato sauce that we pickled last year. But last year we only had half of the tomato plants. So yeah, unfortunately the vegetation period was too short. And that's why we have a huge damage in our tomato harvest this year. So here we usually have rice. These are just small packages, organic rice that we love for eating. But we need to get more rice for sure. It's unbelievable how much rice we eat. Then here's the pickle section. So I have bought many more lids for my jars. And yeah, I bought so many lids that I'm going to be having enough for the next years. Then down here I have a couple of ball mason jars and more lids. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that I have enough of lids for the future, because I think that the price of this stuff will go up in the next years. So I just made sure that I have enough of this stuff here. Yeah, back in here I have more jars. They are made in Italy, and the only thing that you need for these jars is a rubber. And that's the reason why mostly I just use these kind of jars, because they only need a new rubber every year or every 2 years. Yeah, and the rubbers look like this, and you can get some from silicone or from real rubber from the rubber tree. So I like to get those because I think they are better for the environment. Okay, so now as I promised, I want to show you the rest of the things that most preppers forget to buy. So the first thing that you can get is this coffee grinder here. Now this one runs with electricity, and a coffee grinder is important because if there's a shortage in food, then maybe you won't get the coffee which is already grinded, but you will get a pack of coffee which is in whole beans. And the same goes for wheat and rye products. So maybe you won't get packs of flour anymore, which I have in here, by the way. So this is my pasta compartment, which is full with pasta and flour. So let's say you don't get the flour anymore. What to do then? Well, you can get the whole grain, and then you can grind your own flour in a device like this. Okay, now a lot of people will say, what if you don't have electricity? Well, if you don't have electricity anymore, for whatever reason, you can get a mechanical coffee grinder. And I got this one off of Amazon. It's really, really good. So I've already grinded some coffee beans in there, and it's working. The other thing that you can get is a grain mill. And this is really great because you can grind down so much more than just whole grain wheat or rye. You can also grind down rice if you want to. Then you have rice powder, or you can make even acorn flour with this grain mill. So these are really items for a prolonged food shortage or blackout situation. Okay, next I want to show you this thing. This is a drill pump, and you can use it with your drill if you have one. And it's really not too bad. So it can pump out 2,400 liters in 1 hour. So if you have a flooding in your basement, and let's say you don't have any other pump, then you can use this very cheap pump. And this one I got at the hardware store, I believe. I do have another electric pump as well, which is working great. But in a case that I don't have electricity anymore, then I'm going to use this drill pump, and I'm going to use it together with my drills that have a battery. And I always make sure that my cordless drills, they have enough of battery, that they are charged fully, and I have more than just one battery. So I have like 5 batteries for all of my drills, and this way I can get my basement empty if the electricity is gone. Then the next item that I want to show you is this here. This here is a hand drill. So this is how it looks. It's brand new. Actually, I don't want to use it until I really need it. But yeah, a hand drill is great. Let's say if the blackout is taking longer than 3 days and you already have used up all of the batteries in your home, then you can still drill stuff with this hand drill. Yeah, it's better than nothing. It's super slow, of course, but if you need to do some important work like setting up a chicken coop or like boarding up your windows, then you have something to drill, and that's pretty nice. So a hand drill is a nice asset. Also, you can take it with you into the forest and tap some trees for the sap in April or May. So a hand drill is always great to have. Okay, then here in this compartment I have candles and other stuff that you need, matches. Yeah, I'm going to have to buy more candles. And here I have a box full with trash bags. So hygiene is always very important. Then last but not least, I would like to show you my new item that I bought yesterday. It's a pressure cooker. And the great thing is that with this device you can cook your meat or meals much faster than with just a normal pot. And this way you will save some energy. So a pressure cooker can be a very valuable asset in a grid down situation. Now, another reason why I have gotten this pressure cooker is because I need it for sterilizing my grain spawn for mushroom growing. Okay, here at the left side you can see some cleaning agents and cleaning towels, sponges. We also have installed a couple of cameras. Security is very important. Of course, they only work if you have power. Then here at the left side we have our camping equipment. So if we lose power in the house, at least we have one way of staying warm. And then here at the bottom we have our backpacks. So if you have to leave, you can just open up the backpacks and throw everything inside and then leave. But I don't think we are going to bug out. So a bug out situation will be very, very rare. And in most cases you can stay at home. And I think it's better just to stay at home and wait until the crisis is gone. Of course, it depends on the type of crisis. Yeah, and then last but not least, this is our power generator. It can give us 2500 kilowatts and it runs on gas. I haven't used it, so I want to keep it unused. Yeah, then I hope that it will work, of course. So this power generator is great, especially when you lose power in winter time. In our house, we will need the power to power up our heating system. And yeah, it's important that you have power so that you don't sit in a frozen house and so that your pipes don't break. So a power generator is essential, but also think about getting a wood stove. Okay, last but not least, water. Outside of my house I have installed a rainwater catchment system, which currently has a capacity of 360 liters, I believe. So that's not too bad. The only thing is that in wintertime I have to let out the water because otherwise the hoses break. So I only have the rainwater catchment system for 3 seasons of the year. And in wintertime I do not really have water storage, which sucks. So what I have done is I have bought quite a lot of these containers, and once there's a problem with the power supply or once there's a flooding coming, I will fill up all of these containers and the bathtub, and yeah, that will give us a head start. And then I don't know, maybe we eat some snow or something. So yeah, having these containers, especially this one, is great because you can collapse it inside of your backpack, and then when you need the container you just take it out and unfold it. So this container is awesome. This one is not collapsible, it's more rigid. It's also a great container. So I have a couple of these at home, and also I'm going to install a couple of them in my camper van. My camper van is not complete, so I'm still building it, but camper vans are actually great bug out vehicles. So I would definitely, if I would bug out, I would pack all of the camper van full with stuff that you find here in my basement, and then just go with my camper van and with a second car. So yeah, that's the plan. Now a lot of people may ask, why is she making these videos? She's not a prepper, she's a survivalist and shows wilderness survival stuff. You know, that's right. Prepping is not my passion. I think prepping is a necessity, and that's why I'm making these videos. My passion goes with wilderness survival, so I love making those videos and that's my true passion. But prepping is more of a necessity. A lot of people still think that prepping is unnecessary, which I find peculiar because COVID has showed us that it's very easy to disrupt the global supply chain. So yeah, I think prepping now is more important than ever. Prepping for some people has a very bad reputation, which I cannot really understand, because in my world it's just logical to prep. We are not safe on this planet, so there are earthquakes, volcanoes, meteors, and even man-made threats that can happen. So I think prepping is the only logical consequence that we humans can do to live longer, and that's what survival is about. So I think wilderness survival is one part of survival, but also prepping belongs into the survival category, and it's still survival, guys. I just want to urge you, start to prep and have at least 2 weeks of food at home, because if everybody has food at home, then we will have less chaos if something happens. Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned till next time.